So my name is Yvonne. I'm from the Netherlands, a little village in the south on the border of Belgium. And yeah, my background is a mover. I started doing kind of power sports when I was little. Rugby, judo, and then I went into climbing. So outdoor climbing, but because my country is like not hilly at all, and yeah, it's like completely flat country. I started mostly indoor climbing, so artificial walls and that kind of stuff. Did some competitions, but was not particularly talented. And then I moved to pole, and yeah, I kind of found my calling in that. I started with kind of like strength stuff on the pole because I was really impressed by all the things that would go like horizontal, vertical, like splits, flags. So my first goal was like, wow, I want to do my body like in a flag position and I want to do some cool press-ups. So I started experimenting with just only the power moves. And then slowly I started seeing around people dancing, and first I didn't connect it all to any kind of dance move because that's not where I come from. But then I slowly started to experiment with breakdance, with contemporary, with experimental dance, and then everything kind of like clicked in my head that this is more the path that I want to go to instead of showing how strong or flexible I am. So I'm not sure how I would actually describe my style because I think I do different things depending on my concept of movement. So I would call my style maybe conceptual dance. I wouldn't really know, because some days I do flowy stuff, some days I do my weird stuff, some days I just I just more of a trickster, some days more of a floor mover. So yeah, depending the day, depending my mood. I'm a moody dancer. I would love to be doing is to get more involved in theater. So, because in pole dance competitions you only have 5 minutes on stage, so it's kind of limiting. There's only 2 poles, always the same kind of setup, and I would love to be involved in something that's really like bigger than just 5 minutes of judges writing scores. So it can be anything, and I feel like with any kind of concept you could go like really out of the box, stuff we haven't done before. But I think pole dance isn't there yet to be really like involved in a 1-hour theater show. I mean, there has been done, but not really like on a big scale for a big audience. So that would be like a future plan to choreograph this or to be involved with this or to push pole dance a little bit outside of the now just competition and kind of showcase scene. If I have a crazy plan? Good question. I don't know. Maybe pole dancing on some kind of like extreme location, like for example on, I don't know, Alaska in middle of the snow, put a pole there, like get ice bears crawling around it, and I'm on the pole doing my bear walk like this. that stuff would be cool. Or like in the middle of the desert, snake coming at me and I'm like, oh my god, you know, stuff like this. So take pole like to an extreme kind of environment and then experiment and see what comes out of it. Yeah. The first class I taught was pole choreo, and I tried to make a choreo where we're not actually doing pole moves at all, just movement around the pole. So usually the pole is like the fixed point where you turn around, and I try to move that fixed point away from the pole by either grabbing an imaginary object or either moving our limbs away from the pole. So the pole's there, but you don't really see the pole anymore because we're not grabbing it in a functional way. So I let people experiment with that because I feel like if they can take that concept into their own dancing, it will give them way more than just, oh look, I can do a trick. Oh look, I can do a trick. Then my second class was experimental pole, which was also an experiment for me. Yes, and I was really excited about it. So what we did was different movement exercises, different dance and freestyle related exercises that would basically fuck up the structure, the foundation we have in pole, because pole has different, like in any dance style, there's different foundation moves that require a different, specific movement quality. Like you can't have a flag if you're completely relaxed. It's almost not possible. So what we were doing was making this foundation go away and trying to find new transitions and new ways of moving in and out of structures that we know, and also freestyling with different tasks. So the task is not to be functional or beautiful, but it's like a specific, specific task you were given to improvise with. So yeah, there came cool stuff out, and I'm excited to see further experiments with it. And the last class I will teach is called Animal Flows, which I'm really excited about. We will start with some animal movement walks on the floor in a certain animal path, like crab walks, lizard walks, seal walks. So I prepared some nice stuff, I think. And then we will go into the actual moves. So we will think about what quality an animal has that gives it the animal kind of look. So for example, yes. So probably snakes are not moving like this. They will move a little bit more flowy. So we will see how we can incorporate the flowiness of the snake into the pole moves, and vice versa. Yes, and then in the end of the class we will make a combination of an imaginary animal. So we will take the qualities of two animals, we will mix them together, and people will be their own animal. For example, a spider snake, or a lizard seal, or whatever. So it will be also a little bit experimental animals. Yep, that's it.